What's happening, guys? Back with another supplement review. This is David with Mission to Muscle. Just finished cardio, legs, and core. And I got to get on with my day, so I wanted to hop in here. Been running this pre-workout for a few days. Wanted to give you guys my take on it. I've been asked about this particular company and their pre-workouts quite often. And I've done one review on one of their pre-workouts, and it was kind of an intermediate pre-workout. Wasn't anything to brag about as far as for us who like energy, power, focus, and pumps. So I got my hands on one of their more advanced formulas. It's Woke AF High Stim Pre-Workout. And I wanted to give you guys my take on this pre-workout, just in case it's something you guys are interested in. I mean, who knows? This is a hot seller out there, but going to give my take on it. We'll get right into the ingredient profile, and then we'll get into the effects on it. Right on the top here, we got citrulline malate 2-to-1 ratio at 6 grams. That's going to be a little less than 4 grams of L-citrulline for the vasodilation and the pumps. And then the malic acid is going to produce some extra energy through the Krebs cycle on a cellular level. Then we have beta-alanine at 3.2 grams. This is for more reps, more sets in the gym. This is what gives you the pins, the needles, the itching, the scratching, whatever you get from beta-alanine. Then we have caffeine anhydrous at 333 milligrams. I don't know why they went 333. Maybe it means something to them. 333, not 330 milligrams of caffeine. Then we have alpha size, alpha GPC, 200 milligrams. This is a little low, but it's a very good form of choline. So 200 milligrams, it's going to upscale the concentration and the focus. Not going to give you power output or more muscle endurance or anything in the gym, but 200 milligrams is not bad for that concentration and focus. Then we have taurine at 100 milligrams. Have no idea why that's in there. Probably to add to the stimulant effects or maybe the hydration effects that they're trying to get on this. Then we have Himalayan rock salt with trace minerals, 100 milligrams. This is for cell hydration. Trace minerals help balance out, your hydration so you don't get dehydrated in the gym. Then we have dendrobium, 4-to-1 ratio, 100 milligrams, the DMAA replacement that never panned out. I'm sure this has some effects, but through studies, there is no studies saying that it does. But that doesn't mean that it's not going to do something in this pre-workout. But it's supposed to give you energy and endurance in the gym. Then we have deer antler velvet extract, 50 milligrams, another ingredient, no studies on, but claims, a ton of claims. IGF increase, testosterone increases. The only thing that I've known over the years, and I've taken this on its own, is personally it helps with inflammation. So inflammation response, and it's not like a painkiller or anything like that, but it does help with inflammation for training because it does have a natural source of glucosamine and conjointin. But as far as the other effects, I've never, and this thing's been out for a long time, I've never got any kind of testosterone feeling boosting or any kind of growth hormone from it. But that just doesn't mean that my experience is the end all be all. So we just got to see how this comes together. Then we have synephrine HCl, 40 milligrams. Synephrine is the non-stimulant thermogenic. So I've been asked this question for a long time, off and on over the years, where people say, isn't it a stimulant? So synephrine on its own, just so you guys know, is not a stimulant. It doesn't provide any stimulant effects, even though the claims are it's supposed to be ephedrine replacement. It does not really give you any kind of kick, but it does produce some kind of energy, extra energy when coupled with caffeine. The best thing about synephrine is it'll make you sweat. And there are studies that if you take synephrine, this will mobilize fat before a workout, before you exercise. There are some studies out there that it does mobilize fat, and that fat is broken down, shot in the blood and into the mitochondria, and it's all energy based from that. So it's not a stimulant based energy source usually on its own, but it is a fat mobilizing energy source on its own. Then we have estrogen at 25 milligrams. This is for the absorption of all the ingredients here. And then we have Actogen at 25 milligrams. Interesting ingredient. So Actogen actually helps with inflammation and helps with glucose utilization on a cellular level for energy. So it's a very good ingredient on an energy formula to have in this. And I can get into all this research on this ingredient, but if you want to know it, just Google it and you'll be able to see it. It actually helps as far as an energy side. It helps to reduce inflammation in the muscles, because when the muscles become inflamed, this glucose it's hard for things to enter the cells or the muscle itself when there's inflammation in the muscle. So this is supposed to kind of bring down inflammation in the muscle so you get more energy sources going into the muscle so you can blast through a workout and help. But 25 milligrams, there's no daily dose on this, so it just depends on how this all comes together. So Woke Advanced Formula High Stim Pre-Workout, how did it do? So you're going to take the scoop on this thing. Well, no, we'll get into this. I always try to skip this. I don't know why, because I want to jump right into the effects. It's on my mind. So this is a 1 scoop at 12.3. My eyes are blurry from the sweating. 12.35 grams. Just so you know, one flat level scoop's about 2 grams under. So you want to do a heaping scoop to get to that 12 grams. It's 30 servings. We don't see that often in pre-workouts. And I think this thing goes for, I don't have any codes or anything for you guys, but I think you can find it anywhere between 45 and 55 bucks. This is a flavor of Blue Raz. So Blue Raz is very, very good. You don't taste any of the chemicals or any of the ingredients in this. It's a Blue Raz flavor. You guys should be fine with it. You're going to take the scoop, and the beta alanine is going to kick in, I like to say, in about 10 minutes, and it's going to be a medium high, and it's going to stick around for that medium high for about 25 minutes, and then starts tapering down all the way to about 45 minutes. Energy on this thing, energy starts to creep in, surprising enough, starts to creep in about 25 minutes in. So it creeps in and slowly kind of raises. I feel no focus at the time, just the focus from the energy kicking in up until 45 minutes. And that seems to be where the energy peaks. And when it peaks, there is a small sense of urgency behind it. So there's no alpha yo or yohimbine in this, but you still get some sort of a kind of a small, slight urgency effect to get going and knocking out a workout. So very, very good energy that lasts. It'll last you for an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on how hard you train, dialing down. So I'm not saying that the energy kind of goes away. When I say it lasts, I'm talking about how on the peak end, it'll last for about an hour and a half, then starts to dial down. And it's not really a pre that you have to be worried about not being able to sleep at night. I'd still take this if you're taking it at night, at least 4 hours before you go to bed, because you're still up. So even though it just dials down smooth, got no crashing from it or anything like that. Focus comes in and starts to creep in around 45 minutes in. It takes about an hour though for it to peak. And I feel like what happens is you start getting a little bit of concentration around 45 minutes in. And when it peaks, it becomes a very, very, very medium level of focus and concentration. Dials you in with the caffeine in this thing and the stimulant effects on this thing. Dials you in very, very smooth. So you're dialed. I mean, you're concentrated. You're dialed into your training on this thing. So the energy, and they really did a good job. The energy and focus actually are very, very smooth. Nothing stim junkiest-ish. No euphoric feelings whatsoever. I can't even say this gave me a sense of well-being or anything like that, other than the effects of, like, I'm already ready to go. So that motivated feeling that you're ready to go and you feel like training and you're not complaining, you're not you're not worrying about aches and pains or anything like that. So it's no actual apparent feel good feeling, just a really good, sense of energy to get shit done and focus to dial you in with that energy. Muscle power, didn't feel much of it. Muscle endurance, I did, but not a whole lot. It was mostly ran muscle endurance is what it felt like. So, there was a peak time when you have power and you have that muscle endurance into a pre-workout with some, betaine anhydrous or something like that, or some PKTP or some Elevate ATP. Sometimes you can push out those extra reps without kind of like dropping off. And this one here, you push, and you'll knock out a good workout. You knock out the sets, but it doesn't give you that extra kind of inch to push through. So we talked about focus, energy, pumps on this thing. Actually, the pump, you get a tight pump. So no vasodilation, no cell swelling is what I felt, but a tightness. So I did get a tightness, not anything extreme. If you react well to 4 grams of L-citrulline, then it should do you well. So I think that's about it, all I have to say on that, and I hope that is enough. But if you guys have any questions, any comments on this, about this pre-workout, definitely leave them down below. I'll get back to you. Woke AF High Stim Pre-Workout by Bucked Up. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. If you can, give it a thumbs up before you leave. Other than that, you guys have an awesome day. I'm going to get on with mine. We'll see you guys next time.